Good morning and welcome to this morning's reflection. Life never leaves us alone. Life is always acting upon us in some way. There's always something happening in our lives. And very often these actions come to us as challenges. And we need to accept that these challenges will come. The challenges are a natural part of life, and when they come, that's fine. That's what life is about. And so as they arrive, we can be open to them. We can allow them to be what they are. We can welcome them in. In James chapter 1 and verse 2, James writes, "Count it all joy when you meet various trials." That's not easy to do. But it is one of the most effective ways, and certainly one of the wisest ways, of dealing with life's challenges. What James is saying is adopt a positive story about the situation. So often we tell ourselves negative stories about what is happening to us. And very often those stories are related to casting ourselves as victims. But by telling ourselves a positive story, we're able to approach the challenge from a very different perspective. And we are able to remind ourselves that God is with us in this, that there is no need for us to be afraid. So be open to the trials in your life. And when one arrives, say, "Oh, look, there is another challenge." Another moment to walk through life depending on God. Challenges and trials drive us deeper and deeper into God. As James says, it is our trials that perfect us. It is not the wonderful things that happen to us that seemingly grow us. It is the deep difficulties that result in spiritual and psychological growth. When the ego weeps for what is lost, the spirit rejoices for what it has found. And I suppose another way of putting that, when you lose your life, you gain it. When we suffer loss of reputation, loss of relationship, financial loss through death, loss of position, loss through aging, something else comes in its place. When you stand in that vast, open and empty space of loss, a space that feels like a wilderness, when you stand in that space, you are driven deeper and deeper into who you truly are. You're driven into the self that God created you to be. Not everyone experiences this arrival of something else, but many of us do. So when a challenge arrives, we're able to say, "Yes, I see you. You are another challenge. Come to grow me." And so we look at the challenge arriving and we accept it. Then we give our attention to the challenge. And what does this mean? It means that we sit with it. We sit with it in prayer. We make no attempt to act, unless, of course, it is an emergency. but we simply sit and we ask. We ask God to help us see this challenge for what it is, and to develop a helpful narrative around the challenge. This is not a time to think, but a time to simply be present. If you do not take this time, you will make poor choices because you will depend on yourself, and you will depend on the old ways of responding to challenges and trouble. So we face our challenges, and we let go of the resentment of, why is this happening to me? We now look at the challenge prayerfully and alertly, and this connects us to deep wisdom. So, as you sit with your challenges, thoughts will arrive, often independent of your own thinking, thoughts that come from left field, and then you can act. Or maybe you decide to sit a little longer. Or you may become aware that actually there is nothing that can be done in the given situation, and so you simply leave it alone. You let it go and you do nothing. And so today, be open to the challenges of the day. Sit with them prayerfully. See in them the gift. And then hear God's wisdom and respond accordingly, or not at all, dependent on what is most needed. May you be blessed today as you face the challenges of the day. Amen.